Yeah.
All right, so we talked about this. This is kind of like your stuff. I want to say, what about Mavic 3 Enterprise is special when it comes to surveying? Like, what are the features that are on board that allow you to do the job better? And these are the ones that you threw out there. So I'm going to give you full space to speak to them and why you find these particular things so important.
For sure. So starting off with flight time or flight endurance, being able to cover 80 acres of battery at 1 centimeter per pixel GSD. So obviously we can fly much more. If we're looking at US regulations, I've been able to fly, 160 acres, potentially more, pushing up to that 200 acres on a single flight at 400 feet. And you're still looking at GSD of 2 centimeters or below. So that just talks about the quality of our sensor, that we're able to get that GSD, and then also the flight time and endurance to cover those very large sites. And one way to get that resolution is having a very large sensor capturing 20 megapixels, which seems like it's the industry standard now. I did talk a bit more about what a larger sensor can do over that 1-inch Phantom 4 Pro, being able to have way more dynamic range and flying in even tougher environments. Obviously, we have to have a mechanical shutter. That's when we released the Phantom 4 Pro, and then we released the Mavic 2 Pro. Even the Mavic Pro, people were asking, where's the mechanical shutter? Like, that's the only thing we needed to make this drone a commercial drone, was just to add a mechanical instead of a rolling shutter. And so now having that mechanical shutter on that new industry standard, so that when you are making high accuracy survey maps, you're capturing the entire image like that, rather than a rolling shutter capturing it over the course of milliseconds. So we're getting accurate imagery as well as fast imagery. And this isn't necessarily a bullet point there, but I did see it earlier on the slide deck, having a 0.7 second capture speed. So compare that to the Phantom line being around 2 seconds. That means that we are able to fly the drone up to 2 times faster than before, capturing the same mechanical shutter imagery. It's just, since we're able to save and rewrite and re-trigger the camera much faster, now we're flying missions. You can obviously slow this down if you want to, but we're capturing good imagery. You're planning a mission at 80 feet, the drone still may fly 25, 30 mile an hour and capture that site in a matter of minutes, if not seconds. And so as you're cranking through, sure, we can fly longer, we can fly faster too, and capture better imagery, and we can all fly all day with minimal equipment. I brought it up here just a moment ago, where you have a hard shell case that comes with the smart controller, a drone. So if you were to compare this against other previous versions, you would also have to expense an iPad or an Android device in there, because you get the smart controller. You can fit 5 different batteries up on the side. You can get the 100-watt charger that's going to be able to charge your tablet or the smart controller and a battery at the same time. You get that battery hub in there, all for a really slick price of less than 3,500 bucks. Like that is setting the new industry standard for being able to take a Pelican case, literally throw it in the back seat of an economy car. You can almost ride with it on a motorcycle to these different job sites and be able to just fly all day and capture some of the best imagery that you've seen, next to a Matrice 300 and P1, which is 6x the price.
Yeah, you mentioned the iPad and that you don't have to buy that. Also, it used to be like you'd buy a DJI product, but then you would end up buying like a GPC case or a Pelican case or something like that.
Yep.
Or now it comes in a case that is suitable for the job site, which I think is also a significant savings, and it has places for all the batteries and for like the actual user, which was an evolution of DJI over time. I do have one question, and I was in the thermal space for a long time, and I am not as active of a drone user as I should be. So there's rolling shutter and there's mechanical shutter. What is global shutter, and where does it fit?
We've got 14 minutes left, Randall. That's a whole nother can of worms.
Is it a different thing?
Yeah, global shutter much more closely aligns with a mechanical type shutter than a rolling shutter, where you are capturing all of the pixels at near this almost immediate same time. you're getting that mechanical shutter, you're getting that shutter to close, and it's capturing it from pixel 1, all the way in the final bottom right corner at the same exact time, whereas rolling shutter is kind of gathering each pixel or one line at a time, and so we do have some distortion at the bottom of your imagery. Between the difference between global and mechanical, mechanical is going to be closer to that typical CMOS. I hate to even show it because I'm using it as a webcam, but I'm using a DSLR camera. A lot of the DSLR sensors that people are mainly using all are more mechanical rather than global.
Okay, just sometimes people almost use them interchangeably, and it's like, is it a global shutter? It's a mechanical shutter, and I never feel like I can answer that question confidently, so I just thought of it and I threw it to my guy that I was hoping could shed some light.
Yeah, sorry about that. I will say this. There really isn't a better between global and mechanical. It just kind of depends on what the use case is. A lot of the technology is a bit the same. They're both better than rolling, but there are reasons why you'd use a mechanical, and there are reasons why you could use a global and get away with it.